Hi everyone. So first off, I just want to say thank you for all the comments, the positive feedback we got on the last video about food storage and just being prepared. Hopefully we'll be able to do the same for you today and give you a little more tips. First off, I am not an expert. The only reason I even know what I know about what we're about to talk about is because I have made every mistake possible. So I have tried to correct some of those errors. And two, I want to say this isn't about hoarding or being a prepper or anything else. Not that there's anything wrong with being a prepper. This is about peace of mind. You are looking to be able to be prepared for any eventuality. This pandemic right now may be the only one you ever see in your life. But for those of you, and this probably is everyone, you're all in natural disaster areas, whether it's a hurricane, earthquake, wildfires, tornadoes, whatever the case is. You don't know when some sort of natural disaster is going to happen, and you want to be prepared. It may just be that all of a sudden you're laid off from work, and we're seeing that now. Some people, their businesses have been closed down. So you need something in supply. That's what this is about, being prepared in the case of an emergency. How much you get, 1 month, 6 months, whatever. I would suggest 6 months to a year, because you don't know how long anything will last. A job loss, whatever the case is. If you have food, you don't have to worry about money going towards food or anything like that. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today is finances, and I really stink at that. And so I've learned everything the hard way, but there are a couple of things that Sandy and I do. One of it is we put away all our coin. We don't spend coin. We keep it put aside, and when we travel, we take it with us, and we do use it for that. It's a good way to kind of offset costs, getting the bottle of water, or whatever the case is.
Doing our laundry.
Doing our laundry. Well, yeah, and you actually need to have a lot of quarters for that. But we keep nickels, dimes, and quarters, and we keep them individual, and I don't even know how much we have right now, but we have quite a bit. They come in handy, and they spend just like bills. So that's something that a lot of people won't even realize is gone. You just empty your coins into your bucket or whatever it is you do. The other thing we do is at the end of every pay period, whatever is in our wallets, we put away into a side account. It becomes our emergency fund. And then we go and get new money for the next month on this new payday. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, we put it away. So most people won't even realize it's gone. It's just expendable that they had sitting around their wallet. Obviously, some people are living just paycheck to paycheck. Every penny counts, trying to help their family. I can't tell you a lot about what to do. You just always have to look for places to cut as best you can, but you do want to be prepared for the future. Another thing I have done since 9/11, and especially when I wasn't living where we're living right now, is once 9/11 hit, it really hit me that how fast circumstances change and how quick we may have to get out of where we were. And with this house that we're in right now being 2.5 to 3 hours away from where we were living, I wanted to make sure that I could get here. So I have kept my gas tank about halfway, maybe a little under halfway full, and then I go fill it up, because it would take roughly a half a tank to get here. Now we're here, so that doesn't apply, but still, I would say, especially for people who are in wildfire situations or any situation where you need to go fast, you do not want to be waiting in line at the gas station to fill up your gas tank while this natural disaster is happening, because you will not be the only one who waited to the last minute. There will be a line, just like we see at the stores. Sandy and I went shopping today, and fortunately, because we practice emergency preparedness principles, we didn't need to go anywhere. We were going to go into Costco until we saw the line around the building. We thought, oh, we're good. And Walmart was not that way. So we went in just mostly to get perishables, but we have freeze-dried vegetables too that we can use. We just try to hold on to those a little longer. So that's what we do, is to make sure that we have enough, because even when all this hit, we had to examine what was where our failings were, and where our shortcomings were in this. But we had a lot of things on hand to get us through this. So we just are stocking a little bit here and there to keep us going and not to deplete everything. And we now know what we're going to do in the future to be better. So let's talk just a little bit about finances. Again, not an expert, but I did a little scouring. I read a little bit from Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, went on Pinterest. There's also a site called, I believe it's called moneycrashers.com. I had to print things off because I don't know anything about anything other than every mistake I've ever made. Yeah, moneycrashers.com, and I look for suggestions on Pinterest. One thing that Dave Ramsey says is that there are 4 walls of what he calls the 4 walls of budgeting. When an emergency hits, your first job is to feed yourself. So your first priority is food. Your second is to pay your utilities. The third is to pay for your shelter, and the fourth for your transportation. Don't put any extra money on debt. Just pay the minimums. Make sure that you are secure and that you can eat. Those are your first priorities according to Dave Ramsey. So we may have to do this for 2 or 3 more videos, but some of the things I found just as suggestions as you're looking for places to make cuts that Dave Ramsey says is cancel subscriptions. If you have magazine subscriptions, online subscriptions, if you are starting to hurt financially or you want to make cuts to get better prepared, cancel your subscriptions. Another thing he says, purchase generic products. And now that's a little hard for me because I like a brand name laundry detergent, so I'm not so much for the generic, but I'll tell you, if it came down to that, I'd rather have generic and save some money than be laundry poor, I guess. So I also have a budget, which I do. Most of the time I'm in the ballpark of it. And he also says to save and build a $1,000 emergency fund. That should be the first thing you do before you pay off debt. You should have something so that you can use cash if there's a car problem or something where you need to be able to pay something so you don't have to put on a credit card. Another reason too, going back to the very beginning of what I was saying, to have cash, emergency cash on hand, coins and small bills, whether it's dollars or fives, is if for some reason the ATMs went down, if we are in a power outage, and assuming there's even a store you could get into, their cash registers all are electronic, so you would want to be able to go in there and buy something with the smallest bills possible so they don't have to get in their cash drawer to make change. Something, whatever, or whether you have to buy in your neighborhood, or maybe you're swapping. In fact, I saw that in our area, actually. I saw it online where 2 women, one woman says, I need eggs, and one woman said, I have eggs, but I need paper towels and some Clorox, and they bartered with each other and traded. That's ingenious. I love that. So, Dave also suggests make lunch at home. If you go to work, stop going out and buying lunch. Make lunch at home. And limit your groceries. Avoid impulse buying. Now, that all seems pretty easy, but I know we all have our own little areas where we probably fudge that a little bit. I always, when I worked, for the most part, I did take my lunch every day. Though I could have probably even done that cheaper, because sometimes I'd buy the prepackaged stuff. So that's some things too. Anyways, here's some questions, random questions you can ask yourself to kind of judge where you're at. And I don't know your circumstances. You don't know mine. This is totally up to you. If some of these are you think, Edie, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're right, I don't. And so, but some random questions based on some of my studying I did, just for you to think about. First off, what will happen if you stick with your current habits? If you keep spending how you're spending right now and you're in debt, are you going to stay in debt? If you keep doing what you've always done, isn't that the definition of insanity, that you keep doing what you've always done but expecting a different outcome? Do you have credit card debt? What will it take to pay it off? Can you get a personal loan? Can you talk to your credit card companies about reducing interest? Something, but that's probably the biggest thing we all, and me too, though I've pretty much got mine under control. It was a big problem for me many years ago, but that needs to get paid off. Do you need to go get a part-time job to get out of debt? I mean, look where we're at right now, and nobody saw this coming, and all of a sudden people are being laid off. Do you need to be able to get another job, which is hard if you have a family? That's totally up to you, obviously. You only you know your circumstances, but if that would help you get a little ahead, that's just a thought. Can you cut back on social outings? Instead of going to movies and dinners with your friends, can you just sit home and watch movies and pop popcorn with your friends and play board games? How about your auto insurance? Can you downgrade that? Can you find a cheaper one? How about your car? Is it sucking your paycheck? Do you need to downgrade your car? Is your satellite or your cable expenses too much? Do you need to look at making some changes there? And are you house poor? Is it time to make a change? Are you spending too much on rent? Is your house too much? Pretty much, if you can't go do anything because all your money's going to your house, then you probably need to take a look. Again, that's up to you. It's just a thought. If you can barely breathe, this is what Dave says. He says there's a guideline that says, hey, don't buy houses like most people do, because which is so much house they can barely breathe, and you become what we call house poor, where you can't get anything else done. So is it time to downgrade? For you to decide. You can, according to some things I found on Pinterest, can you eat cheaper meals? Can you use more rice and beans and potatoes and pasta and frozen veggies that are a lot cheaper to make? Can you bike or walk to places that you're generally driving to? I mean, we live down the street from the church. We drive there all the time. It probably only costs us 2 cents in gas, but you know, we're doing that too, so we probably should be walking to save gas.
And yet we walk all the way through town and up into the canyon and all the way past the cattle guard, but we can't walk to church, which is just less than a block down the road.
Too early in the morning.
It is too early in the morning.
Can you use Tupperware, Rubbermaid dishes instead of plastic bags, so you can save money on those? And those are just cents, I know, but everything matters. Can you use generic cleaning supplies or vinegar and baking soda? There's ways to use those to clean and to stop using expensive cleaning supplies. Some of the things too, you know, and I'm guilty of this, I like when I see things go on sale and clearance on Walmart, and I'm thinking, what's a $3 or $5 shirt? It's a lot if you do it too much. And the question is, are you buying what you need, or are you buying what you want? And that's what I finally had to ask myself. Do I need this shirt, or do I want this shirt? And if I need it, why do I need it? I mean, how many do you have in your closet? My dad, when he died, I think he had about 3 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of shoes, and maybe 1 or 2 shirts. That's how frugal he lived. So, and I don't even want to tell you about my shoes. So, because I have quite a few, more than I need to. Anywho, so one suggestion I saw too is that you ought to take pictures of everything in every room of your house in case there is an insurance liability situation, fire, flood, whatever. Take pictures now to have on your phone in case you need to meet with the insurance adjuster later about everything in your house. So anyways, I have so much more, but maybe the next time we'll talk about other things to have and on hand and to consider getting. So thanks for watching. Leave us your comments. Let us know what you do, and it's a ton of things better than what I do and some suggestions you have.
Oops, I almost dropped the phone.
Thanks, guys.